Hey, how's it going, guys? We're doing our triangle center test review. If you notice, I've already started filling things out on this paper. I kind of messed up, but what can you do? It's because I have music going in the background now for, well, now it's not playing, of course, right when I start recording this, but, oh, there it goes. Okay. Anyways, we're starting off here. We have our mid segment. The mid segment is because these guys are in the middle, they're divided in half. 18 divided by 2 gives you the 9. They're both 9 there. And in general, the rule of thumb is if you multiply that shorter length by 2, you get the longer length on the outside. And that's exactly the same thing that happens over here. I already had a 2 in front and kind of made a mistake when I was first recording it, which is why I went to pause and go look at what I was doing. And then, well, I wasn't even recording at all. So there's no proof of my mistakes. It's all gone. Either way, we have IJ is equal to, oh man, I had a good joke in there too. I originally said that you're a mid segment. Well, I guess right now I'm a mid segment. What can you do? We got -12 plus 17 is what you're doing here. You're finding out what is IJ and you get a value 5. Boom, boom, boom. Let's move on to our next question. Here we go. Question number 3. Each figure shows a triangle with one of its angle bisectors. Remember, angle bisector means to divide in half. So that guy right there is divide in half. Divide in half. Oh yeah, cut it into 2 parts. So if this is 1 and that's 32 there, that means the other side is also 32. So this is 32, this is 32, and it wants ZXY. ZXY is the entire thing, so you get 64 when you add them together. On question number 4 here, it says that the measure of angle 1 is 2x plus 10, and the measure of angle 2 is 4x minus 10. These things are equal to each other because they are angle bisectors. Over here we wrote them the same exact idea here. 2x plus 10 is equal to 4x minus 10. Doing some quick algebra there. We're going to go ahead and add 10 to the other side to get 20. Subtract 2 to the other side to get 2x. Divide both sides by 2. And we're going to get 10 is equal to x. However, if you notice, that's none of the answers because they're all in degrees. It's reminding you that you need to take that 10 and you need to plug it back in to figure out what our correct answer is. Our measure of angle 1 is equal to 2 multiplied by 10 plus 10. That is, of course, 30. By the way, in some sense, you could have realized that A, B, and D were all incorrect because you were drawing an acute triangle. However, you can't just assume it's actually an acute triangle. It could not be drawn to scale, and it could be an obtuse triangle, and they're trying to trick you. However, it could not be 99 because if I had 2 of those 99s in the same problem, then it would be over 180 degrees and would no longer be a triangle. So actually, this number is not possible regardless. But the other ones, yeah, I guess it's technically possible. All right, let's move on to our next question. Here we go. Each figure shows a triangle with its 3 angle bisectors. So as a reminder, your 3 angle bisectors, they meet at what is called the incenter of the circle. It is the idea, or the incenter of the triangle. It's that circle. That's, well, beautiful circle, Mr. Richards, that touches all 3 sides just barely. All 3 of these are exactly the same length, and they are perpendicular to the sides of the triangle there. And we're simply trying to figure out what is PS if PT is 3. Well, if you notice, I just put down tick marks to show they're the same length. So they are the same length. There's nothing to think about. If that one's 3, so is the other one. This one's a little different though, because we're going to do our Pythagorean theorem. Py is this length right here, and you're told that that value is 3. So let's maybe draw this a little bit larger here. So we have this guy right there, and you're told that this length right here is 3. And you're also told that Rx, this length all the way over here, is equal to 4. And because of that, well, basically that's 3, and that's 3, and you're looking for Rp over here. So we have our other side that's with our right angle here is touching the 3 and a 4, and it wants to know that longer length. This is one that I recommended to you to memorize, that you have the 3, 4, 5 triangle, so you have that right away if you had that memorized. But if you didn't, we usually label this the letter C, and we'd say that C squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared, and therefore C is equal to the square root of 16 plus 9. C is the square root of 25, and you get that same 5 answer either way, but I recommend that 3, 4, 5 triangle being memorized. Let's move on to our next question. Here we go. Triangle with one or more of its medians, remembering that median divides the triangle exactly in half. So it divides these things into exactly equal parts, just like our mid segment earlier. And it wants to know, what is BE if BG is 2.1? Well, 2.1, there's nothing to think about there, right? Nice and fast. Here we go to question number 8. Find VH if SV is equal to 2. So with a median, it divides a ratio here of 2 to 1. Now, note that it actually is 2 in this case. So like 2 to 1 is kind of a misnomer for this exact problem, because I don't have to multiply by anything, but it just wants what that is. So you end up with this letter D here. Please note, if this was like a 6, then you would still be dividing it by 2 to figure out the shorter length. In general, that's kind of what you're doing. Remember that I had you guys write down those notes that if you have the short length, you multiply by 2 for the long length, multiply by 3 for the entire thing. If you have the whole length, you know, divide by 2, multiply by 3, all that kind of thing. We're not going to talk about it too much until you get to this question when you really need it. Or do you really need it? Let's find out. So again, we're in the medians. So these things are going to be equal to each other. And I marked them up because you're told TM is this guy and it wants to know that TL is this guy. Well, these are marked to be the same because of them being medians. So we set them equal to each other and solve. Anytime you have a fraction is equal to a fraction, you're allowed to do cross multiplication. However, this question is even easier because there's a 5 on both sides. So I can multiply both sides by 5 and the 5s are just gone. So we're multiplying by 5 on both sides and the 5s are gone. We now subtract 3x on both sides and we get 4 is equal to x. But we're trying to figure out what TM is, and TM, the technical machine in Pokemon. You're going to learn a new move. And the move you're going to learn is A for this test. Oh yes, we are so happy. All right, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 4 is 16, so we got 16 over 5. Put it into your calculator if you need to, but that's a 3.2. Final answer right there. Let's move on to question number 10. So moving on to question number 10, if TR is equal to, find TR, so that's going to be our short length, our value 1 there. And if TM, remember that's a value 2, and the whole thing is 3. If MR is equal to x minus 7, MT is equal to x minus 8. So in general, you're trying to figure out the short length when you're given the entire one here. So like this guy up here is our quote unquote 3. This guy over here is our quote unquote 2. So in general, we have to divide this one by 2 and then multiply it by 3 to get here, or divide this one by 3 and then multiply by 2, or just do both of those things. So I like doing both of them at the same time. So I'm going to do x minus 8 divided by 2 is equal to x minus 7 divided by 3. And again, we are going to end up having to divide our final answer by 2 in the very, very end. But by doing it this way, we don't have to do too much extra thinking. We can just cross multiply. 3x minus 8 is equal to 2x minus 7. 3x minus 24 is equal to 2x minus 14, and therefore x is equal to 10. Subtract 2x on both sides, add 24 to both sides, and if x is equal to 10, we can figure out that mt is equal to 10 minus 8, which is 2. And well, I didn't know it was exactly 2, but I guess it is exactly 2, which means that RT is exactly 1. You know, RT is the half of that. You're dividing it by 2. Kind of a nifty little question that came out nice and perfect. Over here, we have to figure out the exact coordinates of the centroid of each triangle. For this one, if you remember the formula, you're done. You don't have to do anything. Maybe you have that formula written down somewhere. The coordinates for the centroid of a triangle are going to be x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3, and y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3. You're literally adding all the x's, adding all the y's, and dividing by 3. Or visually, you could also just try to like visually find it using your definitions. So we could either use our formula to figure out the definitions, or we could use our definition of our centroid. So our centroid is we take the midpoints of all of these lines here. So I'm gonna have to like kind of guesstimate it, and then we're gonna draw our line in there, and you know, this one over here, and you know, this one over here, and you can see that they all intersect there clearly at 3, -1. So we know our answer is 3, -1. But if we didn't feel like it, we could just use our formula here. So that's going to be 0, 0. This one is going to be 4, 0, and this one is going to be 5, -3. So if I just wanted to figure out all the x's added together, 0 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 3, comma 0 plus 0 plus -3 divided by 3, and sure enough, I would get 9 over 3, comma -3 over 3, which is are 3 over -1. So either way is cool with me. Now, the reason why this one I would not do the main drawing here is because I noticed that all of my answers already have fractions. Because all of my answers already have fractions and they're all kind of similar to each other. These are very, very close together, and these are very, very close together. And because of that, I don't think drawing it's going to help us here. We're going to actually have to use the formula just to do this question for sure. So this dot up there, we're gonna go ahead and mark that one down. That's gonna be 2, 2. This one over here is gonna be marked up as 6, -4. And this one over here, we got a 2, -4 down there. We're just going to add all the x's together, then add all the y's together. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 6 divided by 3, and 2 plus -4 plus -4 divided by 3. That's going to be a total of 10 over 3, comma, and looks like -6 over 3. So looks like our correct answer there is going to be the letter A. Beautiful. Moving on to our next page. So we got question number 13. Order the sides of each triangle from shortest to longest. Now the idea on this one is that triangles will increase, or the lengths will increase as the opposite angle. So in this case, our smallest angle here is 42. So it has a smallest side, small, over here, and then because it comes from the 42, goes over there. And 67 is our next one, so this is going to be our medium. And this one up here is going to be our large. So in other words, our smallest one, because you're going shortest to longest. So we're going to have WY is our first one. So we know that this guy is not correct because all the other ones have YW as our first one. Our second one is XY. So we need XY in the center. After that, oh, because they're saying these are the same. Well, they're not the same. So I guess here it is. Our letter A is our correct answer then. Same exact idea here, but this time you have to draw the picture for yourself, or you have to realize that X was connected to WY, or in other words, the angle X was connected to the other 2 letters. So the letter A, that connects to the sides B and C. So because 86 is the biggest, and this is going to B and C, that means that letters B and D are not correct there. It has to be one of these 2 that ends at B and C. And likewise, with the shortest one down over here, that one has to go to AB because it doesn't it has that letter C there. So it's going to be our letter C is our correct answer. The other way of doing this is to have drawn the picture all the way out, you know, where you just draw a triangle A, B, C, and then you fill those in. You got 86 there, you got 50 there, you got 44 there, and then you kind of draw those arrows again. So you like 86, then you know this is going to be our large over here. Our large side is the BC, so we know that's the one over there. You do the same exact thing as we did. Anyways, I'm done. We're moving on to the next side. Ordering the angles from smallest to largest. It's exactly the same idea. So on this one, our largest angle is clearly going to be that U, the one that goes from that across from the 19, and these 2 are equal to each other, so they must be exactly the same. So you're going smallest to largest. So it looks like S and T are the same, and then U is the big one. So letter C is correct here. On this one, same exact idea as that previous question, remembering that the angles go with the letter it doesn't have. So GF goes with the letter H, HF goes with the letter G, HG goes with letter F, and it goes in that order, 12, 16, 22, so HGF. HGF. All right, and that was it, guys. That was all 16 questions. There's a whole thing. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace out.